Hi, I'm Cole Phillips. The point of this video is to be able to describe to native English speakers who have no experience with Japanese kanji, um, to give them the basic concept and idea of how they're read and organized. It can look very chaotic and overwhelming, at least it was for me, until I was able to break them down and understand that they're made up of base radicals. Radicals are simple components that are a part of a larger composed kanji. Um, there are some very simple ones, and as words or meanings get more complex, they kind of get squished together and maybe change shape, but the basic form is still there and very recognizable. I've been studying Japanese for about a year and a half, very aggressively, I should say, and I've really taken a lot of time into learning and understanding kanji. I've spent hours on the phone speaking with Japanese people and getting some understanding, some deep understanding that you can't find in a dictionary. Some of the meanings behind why the symbols were chosen is something you need to learn from native speakers who grew up being taught some of these nuances. I'd like to call this series Kanji Demystified because I feel personally that kanji was a very mystical and esoteric subject. I didn't know much about it. It seemed very complex, and I honestly attributed the fact that it's necessary to learn all these kanjis in Asian cultures, that Asians must be really smart. I know it's a stereotype, but that's kind of what I assume since we have 26 characters in our alphabet. If you're looking to learn a new language, I would highly suggest an app called HelloTalk. It links you up with your target language, what you want to learn, and your native language. It'll match you up with people who want to learn that. It's a really great community. People are very friendly and absolutely willing to help you. I have been using this app for about a year and a half now, and I've made some really great friends, had some very interesting conversations, and learned things that I normally wouldn't be able to learn. So I highly suggest you look up HelloTalk and give it a try. To me, some of the basics of kanji are, one, stroke order. It's very important. In order to write them neatly or to make them understandable, there's a specific stroke order which is very smooth. You know, it goes from one line to the other most of the time. And for me, by learning the stroke order, a complex kanji becomes simplified because I understand how to write it and I see the little parts that it's made up of. There are lots of two-word kanjis, so two basic kanjis come together to make a new word, and they interact with each other depending on the way they're lined up. Like flower and fire make fireworks, or the opposite, a spark. One is spark and one is fireworks, depending on which one comes first. It's just a basic example. And then you have what some people have described as Lego kanjis, where two kanjis get squished together to make one new one. There'll be like usually a left hand and right hand side, or a top and bottom. And if they're top and bottom, both of the kanjis kind of get wider and skinnier, but still the same shape, and if they're next to each other, they're a little bit elongated. And I'll give you some examples of that. For example, let's take tribe. This is direction. This represents, I guess, flag. And this is arrow. The idea here is that a tribe or a group or an army, they all point their arrows in the same direction under their flag. If you can imagine like a army entering into battle, holding their banner up in the air, and everyone points their arrows in the same direction. That's the concept. So this one has three components to it. Then you have house. But this is house. Why is it house? I'm not really sure. It looks pretty interesting. But if you combine the two, actually, it's the other way around. This one comes first. But these two together, house plus tribe, this means family. So these two together mean family. This means mother. And this is water. This is a nice one. It's very recognizable. This is water, but when water gets broken down into a radical, it will be on the left-hand side written like this, 2 down and 1 up stroke. So if that's on the left-hand side of the kanji, it indicates it's something to do with water. Now this means ocean or sea. This means right now, like literally at this moment. This basically means heart, mind, and spirit. But when combining both of those kanjis together, it creates a new word with elements from the original kanjis. This together means thought, sense, idea, or feeling. Some of these make sense by looking at them. Like this is to speak. This square here, this is mouth. It could be your mouth. It could be the mouth of a river, maybe a faucet, anything that has a cave opening. This could have something to do with that. But generally this means mouth. And here we have mouth with some lines coming out of it, like, you know, voice, like speaking. This means speaking. And this is sound. Kind of looks to me like a speaker in a box, like, you know, sound is coming out of a speaker. So some of these you can get an idea. It's called like mnemonics, where you take a symbol of something that it looks like and make that association in your mind to remember it. Some of these kanjis are, you can look at it and say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like fish. You know, this could look like a fish. Got like a head here and a body and then fins. And some are more of a stretch, and there are tons of kanjis that I just cannot understand why that shape was picked. But it is. Now, we have fish, and flat. This means flounder. Fish and flat. Why is this flat? I don't know. But both of them together make the kanji for flounder. So, as you can see, more complex kanjis combine radicals or base components of other kanjis to create new words. Some of them are very small components, like this is the grass radical, and this kanji is tea. Tea isn't a grass, but it's giving some indication that it's a plant. This is the beast radical. Grass and rice field. This is cat. Beast, grass, and rice field. This square, like a window pane, means rice field. I'm not really teaching Japanese. I'm not even good enough to begin to teach that. I will continue to go over some basic concepts just so that you can become familiar with the general idea of how it works, and if you are interested in learning, it may give you some spark and motivation to do so. If not, I hope you enjoyed what I've shown you, and I'm going to continue making videos on this subject and about many other interesting things that I do. This may also be good English listening practice if you're learning English. I find this topic very interesting, one of my favorite, and I just want to share some of my passion and interest with you. Alright, thanks for joining. Leave some comments. If you want to see more videos, feel free to subscribe, and I will do my best to get as many out there as possible. Alright, bye-bye.